through your freedom.
Cut the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
Well, it's hit the fan, has it not? Folks, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. I tell you what, we got a lot to talk about here. We got a lot to unwrap. Even though we've kept up this whole way, you and I, even though we're fully prepared, there's so much going on. Now, right, it's 9 a.m. We're live. Do you know where SHTF is in your world? Yeah, I bet you do. Putin has declared, quote, so not even a fly can escape. He has ordered the steel plant in Mariupol, Ukraine, surrounded. The Ukrainians were hiding there. They've been leveled. They're in bunkers or tombs, if you will, underneath. And it's incredible, folks. What is happening here? We need to understand perspective and how it affects the determination of human beings. Yeah, it's a pure SHTF topic, right? Putin and Russia see the World Economic Forum, the globalist folks, and NATO for what it is. It is aggressively trying to push its Great Reset. Folks, decades of demanding economic domination and threatening sanctions for not playing along with Europe and the US has now fully played out. It's been played out. It's fully played out. Russia and China, folks, have accumulated gold. They've developed independent markets. They've created alliances outside of the system. And it's allowed them, Russia and China, to make this move to protect the Russian border. I'm not saying Putin and Russia are the good guys, but they have made their decisions, folks. And they are determined to carry them out and in turn issue their own actions as evidenced by what's happened in Ukraine and what China's promising. So they have issued their own actions and threats, and they're proving to hurt the European Union and the United States of America, our markets, as hard or harder than the sanctions are hurting the Russians. Now, since the war is on their border, their resolve, folks, is more real. Now, being realistic, Americans have been spoiled and don't understand global economic dynamics. They don't understand military realities. Everyone should just shoot a gun in the air and then just get along, right? They don't understand strategy. Americans don't. Americans listen to the president, well, normally listen to him and listen to political leaders, listen to political pundits on TV, and then they buy into the hype depending on whether or not their political party is in charge. Then they go back to watching sports and other mundane entertainment and activities. Now, the Russian people, folks, we need to understand this as Americans, as patriots, as preppers. We need to understand Russians, the people, are very aware of hard realities. Not only is Ukraine in their faces and the NATO aggression in their faces, it is in their tradition and their culture to be treated poorly by their European cousins. Russia is the first to be blamed. Russia is the first to be hated. And Russia is the first to be punished. Folks, in this case, they were ready for it. They were not surprised by it. They were prepared. What a lesson to learn there. You see what's coming. You understand how the Western governments act. You know their agenda. Being prepared doesn't make it easy, but it makes it livable, survivable. Now, when Russia engaged against the Ukrainian threats, and those threats from Ukraine, we're going to bring in NATO. They were supported by Biden, the World Economic Forum, European Union, NATO. And they knew at that point that they would be called the bad guy. Russia did. They're going to be the bad guy in this affair, and they're going to be attacked economically, financially, and socially even, right? Americans don't understand, folks, that Russia was already 95% treated like garbage by the US and the world. Right? Everything is Russia, 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 Trump, Russia bad. Everything is Russia. Tulsi Gabbard criticizes Hillary Clinton. She's a Russian asset. We're like, Russia wasn't even on the table, and you bring that up, right? They're already socially attacked. They're already treated like garbage. Russia has had an existential threat to their nation, and they have everything to lose if they allowed it. So why not act in a positive manner from their perspective, where they have everything to gain, which is their sovereignty? Now, in the United States of America, we are in SHTF big time, folks, big time. China is silently engaged in punishing us with no deliveries of goods. The OPEC oil-producing nations are united with Russia, who is a member of them, by the way. OPEC Plus is united with Russia to punish the United States and the European Union. Just look at the facts. Oil shortages, prices going up. OPEC not producing more. Americans, folks, by and large, the average on the street Joe American, they have no clue what is coming in the way of economic suffering. The suffering that's been promised to the Russians is being visited on America and Europe. And Europe is feeling it ahead of us, folks. Right? Our perspective is, quote, what's for dinner? Right? Who's going to entertain me next? That's our perspective, while the world is looking at years of hardship ahead. Right? Third world nations, emerging markets, they're already feeling big pain in inflation, food shortages, food costs, fuel costs, energy, blackouts, big suffering, folks, big hardships. So our concern is still at this point, what's for dinner? You know, I'm mad about the gas prices. What's for dinner? Right? But, you know, back in Mariupol, Ukraine, Putin has the Azov Ukraine army pinned in a tomb under a steel mill. Not even a fly can escape, says Putin. It's in his backyard. It's his war to fight while the world watches and the world leaders pretend that they want to fight too. Yeah, even Sean Penn. Even the mainstream media is going to take up arms. Are you buying that garbage? Is it 9 a.m. or is it 11:55 p.m. and we're almost at midnight, right? The hard change, the hard hour, the darkest hour. As patriotic Americans, folks, as preppers, we have warned of the consequences, have we not? We've warned of the consequences of the actions taken by government to export our production capacity, to introduce poor agricultural practices, to reduce our energy independence, to mismanage our infrastructure, both hard infrastructure and cyber infrastructure, not to mention energy infrastructure. And governments have also ignored the Constitution in all its efforts that it's taken to push us to the point where the Great Reset is nakedly enacted against us and everyone else in the world. The chickens are coming home to roost. SHTF is here. They've got their war, they've got their famine, they've got their pestilence. Those are their three tools, and death rides amongst them. Are you prepared? Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, plan. Have it all, folks. Get it now. Get it together. Come over here. Get this. Get these internet addresses and get what you need. Go to thepreparedmind.club. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you've hit the notification bell. Hit the thumbs up. Share this video with others. Right? Putin says, so not even a fly can escape. Folks, he's talking about the Ukraine army pinned under a steel mill in a tunnel system. We are all, folks, in a situation that we will not be able to escape. We're all going to feel this. To what degree is up to you. Live in a good area. Have a great plan. Be fully prepared, psychologically as well as having your bunker, having your house, having your safe space. Talk about the need for a safe space. In SHTF, will you have yours? And again, when we hear these lazy Americans, when they are triggered and upset, right? The safe space, well, they're fearful in their heads. Right? Feeling safe is a thought. And that feeling is encouraged or intensified by whether or not you have food, water, shelter, clothing, and medicine, a means of self-defense. You have those things together, and you're going to feel a whole lot safer, a whole lot more prepared. They're not going to let up on us, folks. They're not. Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Spread the word far and wide. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you in the next video.